Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am so excited for this video because we are going to be testing out a new indie brand. I've seen so many people talking about Cosmic brushes and I just needed to know for myself if they are worth the hype. So they just launched their Delicious Delights palette. I bought it on launch day and I thought it was really stunning. It's like a pastel eyeshadow palette. It has a multi-chrome. Ooh, my voice just cracked. It has so many beautiful shimmers. It honestly looks stunning. I will say that I've kind of had like a flippity flop moment happening because originally I saw the promo pictures and I was like, this palette is beautiful. But then I saw some pictures coming out of the palette in more natural light and I was kind of like, I'm not as obsessed with it, but now having it in person and seeing it myself, it is honestly stunning. I feel like the picture I saw that kind of made me question whether I wanted to buy this or not, that the lighting isn't exactly true to what it looks like in person because it is very vibrant and it's honestly so pretty. And I think the packaging is adorable as well. So along with the Delicious Delights, they also released a frosting highlighter trio, which is just 3 highlighters. I don't know why I bought this. I don't know. I was like, oh, let me just try it. Like, they look beautiful. They look sparkly. I feel like these are something more that I'll use on my eyes than on my face, but I'm definitely going to give them a go. And I don't know. I feel like you guys can't necessarily see just how intense the shift is. These do look super duochrome and they're very cute. So I don't know. It just ended up in my cart. And then I also went ahead and purchased their Serendipity palette because I've seen this for a long time now and I always thought it was beautiful and I was like, I'm making the order already. I may as well add on this palette because it has such beautiful greens and purples and it's just really stunning. So I'm hoping that I enjoy the formula. I was actually gonna grab one more, but it was sold out unfortunately. So I just wanted to do a swatch party with y'all. We're gonna swatch everything out and then also do an eye look and I'll kind of give you guys my thoughts so far. You know I love trying new indie brands. This is a UK based brand if I'm correct because I'm pretty sure I paid in pounds and honestly like all the girly vibes. So let's just go ahead and start swatching. So let's just start with the highlighter palette because it's gonna be super easy to swatch. So the first shade is Golden Apple. Ooh, that's super creamy. Okay, this is a like green reflective highlighter. The shift on that is super metallic. And then we have Cinnamon Swirl, which this one is kind of like a golden base with a pink shift, a pinky purple shift. It's a little bit more subtle, like not as like intense as the first one. And then we have Blueberry Muffin, which is kind of like a bluey purple shift. Again, with the texture, I feel like Golden Apple was like the most creamy, the most intense, but they all look pretty. Don't mind all my mosquito bites. I'm just out here getting attacked every day, but here's what those look like. I do really like the texture and I feel like when I'm putting my hand back, I'm not really seeing like a cast per se, so I think that they should be pretty good. I think we should swatch Delicious Delights first out of the eyeshadow palettes just because it is their newest launch and I just can't wait to get my fingers in these. Okay, so the first shade we have here is Whipped Cream, which is a matte white. Feels pretty soft and actually that's really opaque like right away. I feel like normally with shades like that, it can be a little bit more transparent, but that looks really good. We have Zesty, which is kind of like a soft lime green pastel. And then we've got Minty, which is a mint pastel shade. Okay. Next we have the shade Fizzy, which is the first shimmer in the palette. It's definitely pigmented, but it feels like a very traditional shimmer. It's not like super creamy, super metallic. Like it's pretty, but I'm not like wowed immediately. And then we have Lollipop, which is a teal matte, kind of mid-tone shade, but very bright. And then next we have Sprinkles, which I don't know if you guys can see, it is the multi-chrome of the palette. Like it's actually a little trippy how intense it looks and ooh, it's so creamy. Oh my gosh. So intense. Okay, so there's that shimmer. And here is the metallic. So the thing about this shade is that it is stunning. Like The shift is beautiful. I'll definitely do like a video on my phone from a different angle so you guys can see in just a moment. It's stunning, but it's a black-based multi-chrome, and I feel like that almost doesn't make sense in this palette because it's like all pastel matte shades. Like it's beautiful, but I don't 100% understand it with the color story. I mean, I'm gonna use it regardless. I'm gonna make it work. But next we have the shade Smoothie, which is a hot pink. Honestly, the mattes feel really good. We've got Candy Floss, which is a pink shimmer, but again, my thoughts are kind of the same as the first shimmer. Like, it's pretty, but not standing out compared to like all the shimmers that I have in my collection. We've got Marshmallow, which is a little bit of a softer matte pink. That is a Barbie look right there. Next we have Buttercream, which is a soft kind of yellow matte. We've got Gingerbread, which is a very gingery, warm brownie orange. We've got Frosting, which is a soft purple shimmer. That one is like a little bit softer texture, has like a little bit more of a shift going on. That's super cute. Next we have this soft purple matte called Milkshake, which is super pretty. We've got Jelly Bean, which is a Barney purple. And also, fun fact about me, I don't like jelly beans at all. I've never liked them. I don't know, I think it's the texture. We've got Charms, which is a really deep, beautiful purple. That also is such a pretty look, those three mattes together. Next we have Sugar Plum, which is a purpley blue, super metallic shade. That one is very, very creamy. I really like it. We've got Sweetie, which is kind of just like a cornflower blue matte. And then Slushy, which is a cobalt blue. This is such a pretty indigo. Okay, I'm like officially running out of room, but we have 2 shades left. We're gonna make it work. Okay, so there's where we're at. Gotta make it work. That is the entire palette swatched out. I think it's really pretty. Overall, I feel like mostly I'm excited for the mattes. Like the mattes all swatched amazing and so soft and pigmented and creamy. And I just have really, really high hopes that I'm gonna love them. And then like this shimmer I said was really beautiful. This shimmer was nice, but these two are like nothing to write home about just from first impression. So I'm gonna wipe this off and let's swatch the Serendipity palette. Actually, let's swatch the Serenity palette because it's not called Serendipity. Okay, so now swatching Serenity, we have the first shade Opal, which is kind of just a white pinky base with a bluey green shift. Super pretty, just like a go-to inner corner shade out of this palette, I could already tell. We have Pixie, which is a bright purple, just looks like that. And then we've got Sorbet, which is a stunning, super bright chartreuse. I just love the purple and green in this palette. I think it's so cute. Again, the mattes feel super creamy, super soft. Next, we have the shade Earth, which is like a grungy brown, which, I don't know, it's just stunning. Like, it's like a mustardy brown, but it has depth to it. It's beautiful. We have Oasis, which is kind of just like a soft peach. And then Odyssey, which is a really creamy metallic gold. This color story is already 10 of 10. Ooh, that matte did not swatch the best. Okay. Next we have the shade River, which is a really beautiful like peacock blue, just stunning. Forest, which is a really deep kind of greeny black. And then Spring, which is like a soft greeny mint. Okay. Some of these mattes are swatching a little bit more sheer. Next we have Serenity, which is a metallic, pretty creamy blue. We've got Awake, which is a bright periwinkle matte. And then Twilight, which is like this deep indigo with sparkles in it. It's funny because the texture of the mattes feels the exact same as the other palette. Like it feels creamy, opaque, but then like swatching them on my arm, they're just not like taking to my skin as well. Okay, next we have Moss, which is a really pretty grungy green. So cute. We've got Lagoon, which is like an ivy green. And then Mood, which is a really deep blue. Ooh, that's so pretty. Okay, next we have Wanderer, which is a metallic green, super pretty. I will say overall, I like the way the shimmers feel in this palette more than the Delicious Delights palette. And then we have Ether, which might end up being my favorite because it's like the most stunning, like purpley blue, sparkly duochrome. It is so pretty, super metallic as well. And then we have Make a Wish, which is a soft, light pastel purple. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, once again, running out of space, but we have 2 more shades. So last but not least, we have Echo, which is a really bright kind of sky blue matte, very vibrant. And then we have Mystical, which is a really deep brown. I actually think that these palettes are gonna be so pretty together. Oh my gosh, look at that. That depth. Okay, so there is that entire palette swatched out. I think it's so fun. Such a unique color story. I'm all about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on the look. I don't even know what I wanna do with this. Maybe play with the purples and blues because they're really, really pretty. Okay, let's go ahead and start off with the shade Sweetie. I'm gonna take that on a small blending brush and pop that on the inner half of my crease. I don't know if you guys can see that, but immediately it's so opaque and looks really smooth. So just kind of building that up and slightly blending out the edge. I feel like these mattes would be so good for an all matte eye look. Okay, let's also go into a little bit of the shade Ice Pop. I think I'm going to put that just on the center. Just a little bit more blue right here. I don't even really know what I'm doing with this. All I know is that I just want to like put every single thing on my eyes. Then let's go into a little bit of Milkshake and just pop that on the outer V into the crease and up. I feel like it's blending with minimal effort. I'm kind of feeling a little pastel rainbow moment. So let's see, let's take a touch more of that purple Milkshake, and I'm just gonna apply that to the lower lash line, but only like on the outermost part, just enough to connect, because I have some other colors I wanna go in with. And then let's go into Marshmallow next to get some pink happening. I'm gonna pop that on the center of the lower lash line. Next to that, I'm gonna go into the yellow buttercream. Pop that on the inner portion right here. Just kind of blending the yellow into the pink. Get a little orange right there. Okay, and then I guess all that's left, actually, there's 2 shades left I want to go in with, so let's see if we can make this work. I think I'm going to start with Zesty for the inner corner, just kind of a little bit closer to the yellow because it does have like a yellow undertone. Just kind of bring it right here. And I'm making sure to leave like a little space open so that we can go in with the shade Minty now and just kind of connect that chartreuse to the crease. Why is that actually so cute for an unplanned look? I kind of just was like, oh, let me just follow my heart, and it's adorable. What I really want to go in with, I'm going to take just a little bit of the white whipped cream to highlight underneath my brow bone because it looks so opaque right on like underneath the highest point of my brow bone. So for the lid, I think maybe I'll go in with a touch of Fizzy on like this very like inner part, And then we can also go into the shade Frosting, that really beautiful like purpley blue for the rest of the lid. Okay, so just going in with Fizzy on a really small flat shader brush, just popping it on this portion, and then kind of just fluffing it inward so it'll blend with the next shade. Okay, now we're gonna go into the shade Frosting, and I'm just gonna use the brush just to see how well it picks it up. So actually I think I'm just gonna like focus that on the middle of the lid. Just kind of packing it on, blending it out a little bit. And then maybe let's just take just a touch of the shade Sugar Plum on that same brush and just pop it on the outer V. Okay, that looks really blue on top of the purple, but I'm just gonna kind of blend it in a little bit. I think I'm happy with that. I feel like it looks really, really cute. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, one more thing. Let's try a little bit of Delicious just topped over the lid because it has like a really pretty shift to it. So I'm just gonna like pop it on top right here just for a little extra something something. So to finish off this look, I'm gonna go into the Maybelline Falsies Surreal Mascara, just coating my upper and lower lashes. So now for the cheeks, I'm gonna go into the ColourPop Prairie Air Blush, which is just a really beautiful baby pink. Just gonna throw a little bit of that on. And now on top of that, let's try out the Frosting Highlighter Trio. So I think today, to like go on top of the pink, we should try Cinnamon Swirl. I'm just gonna grab that on like a fluffy brush just to see how it does. Put it right on top right here. Honestly, that looks pretty good. Like I personally just go for more of a natural highlighter these days, but I feel like that's giving like the glow and it's giving shine without like looking super sparkly or like looking super textured. Like it has just like a really good texture to it, if that makes sense, because sometimes with colorful highlighters it could really emphasize things. But this I think looks pretty good. Okay, for lips I'm just gonna go into the Blend Bunny Barely There gloss. It's my go-to right now. All right, y'all, so this is the finished look and I do really like how it turned out. I feel like it's so fun. So let's talk about my thoughts. As far as the highlighter trio goes, I do really like the shade that I used today, but I definitely need to use it more because obviously I've only used a third of the palette. I like the way it looks on the cheeks, but I'll definitely have to see if this is something that I keep reaching for. As far as the eyeshadow palettes go, obviously, again, I need to test these out way more because I didn't even use Serenity today. I just swatched it. And I mean, the color story is stunning. So you guys can let me know if you want to see me do some looks with this. I know it is a little bit of an older palette, but as far as the Delicious Delights palette goes, I really, really love the mattes. Like I feel like they look so good on the eyes. I feel like they just have this like really rich texture to them that I appreciate. They're everything that I want from a matte, and I'm really happy that this palette is very matte heavy because I feel like that's what I would want to reach for this mostly. As far as the shimmers go, I feel like they are pretty. They're definitely not bad by any means. I do feel like there's other indie brands out there that have shimmers that are much better and just like much more special in my personal humble opinion, but these mattes are really, really good. So overall, right now I'm happy with my purchase, but I definitely want to play with these more. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed getting to try a new indie brand with me today. If you are not already subscribed and you'd like to see more content from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.